very good morning to you. Welcome to the Traffic Report segment on the AM Cafe, coming to you live from the studios of IATV. My name is Folashade Ogurinde. Well, the holidays are over and it is expected that there will be more vehicular movements along the major roads in Nigeria. And that's why we're taking a traffic report on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway as well as the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. And helping us with this report this morning is Route Commander Florence Opey. She is on the line now. Good morning. Good morning, Ma.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Quickly take us through the traffic report for the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
The traffic situation on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway this morning inwards Lagos from Togate Ibadan to Onigari, the traffic is free. Onigari Alapako free flow. Alapako Fidewo is also free. Fidewo Shagamu interchange is free. Interchange Kara RCCG, the traffic is free. Mowe is also free. Ashishi Ibafo, there's slow movement of vehicles due to the diversion at that area and the narrow lane. Then MFM Magboro, the traffic is free. Up it down to Bega, safe law of vehicular movement. Then upwards Lagos, that's the other section of the expressway. Bega Opik is free. Magboro MFM free flow. Ibafo is free. Mowen is also free. Interchange, free flow. Fidewo, Alapako, the traffic is free. When you can down to Togate Ibadan, free flow, vehicular movement. There is no crash, no obstruction.
Okay, Madam Florence, so what that means is despite the resumption of work and the end of the holiday, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is free.
Now that the holiday is over, people are returning back to Lagos. That's why we have a high volume of vehicular movement. So that entering Lagos this morning, we have slow movement, and that's Ibafo, where the construction zone.
All right.
Because of the high volume of vehicular movement.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's move now to the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Is there free movement? Are there hookups at certain parts of the road? Please take us through the traffic report.
Okay. Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway this morning, areas where we are experiencing slow movement, we have the slow movement in Iyano Ologo due to the bad portion of the road. Iwekoro La5, slow movement of vehicles. Due to the bad portion of the road also, we have slow movement at Iyanostele Owode. We have slow movement at Owode Stango. The other section of the road are free. There is no obstruction around ROTC, that is road traffic crash, was not recorded on that road.
All right, thank you very much. Is that all the reports you have?
Drive cautiously.
Okay.
Obey traffic rules and regulations, avoid overtaking, especially at the construction zone, and also use the latest speed limit at construction zone, which is 50 kilometers per hour. Drive safely. Call FRSC toll-free number 122 to report any crash or obstruction. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Route Commander Florence Opey, for that detailed analysis of the traffic reports along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway as well as the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
All right, that's it on the Lagos traffic report this morning. Up next is Newspaper Review. Don't go anywhere. We'll join you shortly. Many thanks for joining us on the newspaper review segment on the AM Cafe, coming to you live from the studios of IATV. My name is Folashade Ogurinde, and this morning we'll be taking a review of the stories making the front pages of the national dailies. I'm not the only one in the studio today. I'm joined by a seasoned journalist, Mr. Muka Popola. How are you doing?
Fine. Folashade, good morning.
Good morning. And I hope you had a very nice holiday, the 2 days holiday.
Yeah, of course it was nice. I'm a Muslim, and it was a beautiful landing after 29, 30 days of fasting. Let me say, happy Eid al-Fitr celebration to the Muslims all over the world.
All right, thank you. So let's move on to the Punch newspaper. The Punch this morning is reporting presidency meets power firms over electricity crisis, with the rider says German government to assist with distribution projects, and the story is on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. Just above the masthead, a story here says Oshiomhole versus Oyegun. APC state chairman seek Buhari's intervention, may meet before Monday. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Another story here says Makinde gives Ajimobi's aides 48 hours to return government vehicles, and that story is on page 10 of the Punch newspaper. Akeredolu sacks 9 permanent secretaries, affected officers kick. That story is on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Other stories making the front pages: 25,794 killed in violent crisis during Buhari's first term, says a report. That story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper. We arrested 2,175 suspected kidnappers, others in 2 months, says the IG. That story is on page 4 and page 5. I would hand over to another PDP governor, Dixon boasts, and that story is on page 22 of the Punch newspaper. Just beside the masthead, a story here says Gbajabiamila, not guilty of perjury, has never been convicted, says campaign team. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. A story here says bandits kill 16 in Zamfara, 1 dies in Bauchi Salah clash, and that story is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper. And we can see a very colorful picture here. It's tagged traditional Salah festivity as part of activities marking the Eid al-Fitr in Bauchi on Wednesday. That's quite colorful, and it's on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Mr. Muka, the story here is saying that presidency meets power firms over electricity crisis. Over and over, it's more or less like a broken record. It's something everyone knows, that Nigeria has very, very poor power outputs. And over time it has seemed like it's something, it's rocket science, because I don't think power generation and power output should be something so tedious for Nigeria, because we have all the natural resources to fund and to have stable electricity. It's even a rumor that, I don't know if it's true or confirmed, that Nigeria gives power to neighboring countries. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, really, if let's even move away from whether Nigeria is sharing power with some other African countries, but let us focus on the power crisis itself. The situation is so precarious. All of us know that every day, and that is a key, the life, the soul of our economy. Because if power is in such a shamble, of course, I don't know where we expect to take our economy. And I don't, like you said, it should not be rocket science. Because if Ghana here is not having the kind of problem that we are having here, I don't think it should be that difficult. I am not an electrical engineer, I'm not technical in that area. But again, now what I find interesting is that Nigeria is looking forward to Germany to come and handle distribution. They are talking about distribution. How about generation? What is the quantity that
because
we've been able
yeah,
to
because what you generate determines what you distribute. Because if you generate very low capacity, what do you distribute? You still distribute the same thing.
We are still oscillating between they will say 3,000, 4,000. Sometimes government will say 7,000. That's why we are still oscillating. So is it 7,000 megawatts? Let us even say the peak that I've talked about, 7,000 megawatts. Is that what is going to serve about 200 million people? So you don't go to tell us about distribution of what you don't have. Concentrate. There is general problem. The firms that are handling electricity in Nigeria today have shown that they lack capacity. There is no doubt about it. Since the independent organizations, firms.
I'd like to interrupt you there. Yeah. Has there been any report with regards to the issues electricity has in Nigeria? Is it an issue of power generation? Is it an issue of distribution? What exactly seems to be the problem? Because the average Nigerian feels that we can never have 24-hour steady electricity in Nigeria, which of course is not true, because public opinion or some quarters would say that some people are in power, they import generators, and for that reason we can never ever have stable electricity in Nigeria.
I find that funny anytime people allude to that reason, that because some people are doing business. They remain in that business because there is that gap. If you do your own, I mean, are you saying that it is these organizations that are stopping us from generating? So what exactly?
So
there is problem. That's why I said that you cannot give what you don't have. We don't generate enough. So if we don't generate enough, is it the little quantum, that we generate that we are open to distribute? And that is even the problem that we have been having, that we now have to seek the support of Germany to help us distribute. Distribute what? So what I'm saying is, for now, there is big problem. It's a general one. It is not. You cannot pigeonhole it to say, okay, there is no problem in generation. There is problem. If you are still talking about 7,000 megawatts, when some countries are talking about 60,000 megawatts. South Africa is over 40,000 megawatts.
I think for some experts, they would say that common sense should dictate that the government go to these countries who have sorted their electricity problem. Come to Nigeria, consult for Nigeria, and because it's something. If you want to make something work, then you would do everything to make it work.
That happens generally in our national life. What people, our leaders, they go outside. They see how things are done there. They see how things work there. They see the system. So, but when they come here, they enjoy. Sometimes when they are on holiday, they want to go out with their family. They don't go to the village. They find their way to Dubai. They go to US. They go to America, to London, UK. And in these places, what do they go there to do? To enjoy the facilities on ground there. And coming back now, they still come back and meet us where we are. They will come, they will spend the money, on themselves and the family, and probably do whatever little things they can do to rub our faces. But the fact remains that the problem of power generation is a key issue, to our economic problem. And unless that is resolved, we will still continue to have problems. Because a lot of people that are jobless today, they are jobless because we have problem with power. Very few people can be employed by government. Very few people from the entire population can be employed by the private sector. So the people that are surviving on the fringes of the economy, they are far more than the number of people that will gain regular job, regular employment. So what do you do to hairdressers? What do you do to welders? What do you do about people that are surviving on the fringes of the economy, who merely need government to provide electricity? And once that is done, they will keep going on with their life. So
thank you, Mr. Moko, for
that beautiful analysis. Well, it is necessary,
but we need to move on now.
They should do more.
All right, thank you. Now moving on to the Vanguard newspaper. On insecurity, Danjuma, Lepwart, others take Nigeria's case to UK with the riders Asemota, Dongorayo, Anigbogu, Owojaye Opaleke Ihonde on the delegation. Buhari fighting jihad. Christian elders tell UK Parliament, say Nigeria needs democracy, not Sharia. There's also another story here says the stronger laws needed to tackle crimes. IGP Adamu, that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that says Deputy Senate leadership, APC yet to zone position to South-South caucus. We never endorsed anyone for Speaker's position, PDP House caucus. That story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Another story here says insecurity won't stop rice production, says farmers, and that story is on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. Security Okowa Obaseki meets in Asaba, chart common front. That story is on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. 28-year-old man stabbed to death in Enugu for seizing girlfriend's phone. That story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Just above the masthead, the Vanguard is reporting that why militants put off declaration of North Delta Republic on June 1. That story is on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper. How decision to prosecute Tinubu at CCT was taken, ex-AGF Aduke. That story is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. 2019 UTME, no cut of marks yet, says JAM. That story is on page 8. Oluwos to don't allow repeat of 1999 bloodbath, community leader wants. That story is on page 39 of the Vanguard newspaper. Operators shareholders seek technical suspension of Oando shares. That's a business story, and you can find it on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's quickly move now to the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is reporting this morning Nigeria's yearly stolen fund worth 62% of 2019 budget. Analysts propose ways to stop illicit financial flows. That story is on the front page and continued on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. IGP seeks stiffer laws against kidnapping, banditry, others. You can find the story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Who the cap fits as Nigeria's best education minister in 20 years. The story is a report, and you can find that on page 38 of the Guardian. Federal government SARS brutalizes, threatens to kill journalists in Rivers. The story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. I have other stories here. PDP reps caucus denies endorsing Gbajabiamila speakership bid, and the story is on page 4. 4 fell dead in Taraba Bauchi clashes. It's also on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Ganduje cancels Dubai as hoodlums kill guest at Emir's Palace. That story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. Finally here, Christians allege ethno-religious cleansing in Kaduna, petition Trump. With the riders, don't politicize security challenges, government tells group. Petitioners have right to opinion, says PFN. That story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. We have a story here, quite interesting, Mr. Moka. It says Nigeria's yearly stolen fund worth 62% of 2019 budget. Is that not amazing?
Well, of course.
If I can use that word.
But yes, it's amazing. And of course, it should not be surprising to us the way Guardian, has tried to capture. Guardian is reminding us of the amount of money that have been reported stolen, not the one that will be stolen. The ones that have been reported stolen, and that when you aggregate, all the money together, it is worth 62%. And
there was even a story yesterday about Abacha's loot going into trillions. Was it the trillions of dollars?
Well, I don't know. The money keeps coming. The money keeps coming. The one that they are reporting is over 80 billion naira now. So, but for goodness sake, as the money keeps coming, it shows something. That probably sometimes we ask ourselves, is it because Abacha died that we are hearing all this? How about other, people who are alive, who have served this country before? Are they so simply that we are not hearing anything? So, and apart from that, when the money comes in, we hear the figure. What the money has been put into, we don't get to hear anything about it again. This money is huge. The one that we are talking about now is still with the UK, but let us just pray that by the time we receive it, it's not going to end up being shared in the market again, because to me, I don't know what that serves to developing the economy.
Because I think that's majorly it for the Nigerian government to use this fund, for the betterment of the Nigerian people.
Oh, of course.
We're talking about electricity. If they pump this money,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
the average Nigerian man on the streets will feel the influence.
There are no concrete projects than going into the market to share money, to people. Those that we are given 10,000 naira, go and ask them now if they still have that money.
Money that can be spent in less than
a week.
Even
If the poorest of the person will spend it within a week. So why do you assault our sensibility? Why do you assault the integrity of our thinking faculty in Nigeria by saying that you go about on the street in the market to dash people money, and that's what makes government to be connected to the masses? That is not. Do for them what will improve their lives, and that will be better for all.
Right.
So that's the way to go.
Thank you very much. But that's all we can take on the newspaper review segment on AM Cafe. Many thanks, Mr. Muka Popola, for being our guest analyst on the show. We hope to have you again next week, Thursday.
Thank you, Father Shade. It's always my pleasure.
All right, over now to Ibadan for the rest of the program. I am Folashade Ogurinde saying good morning.